You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Hello, welcome back. Skyrim Addict podcast. I'm Michael. I'm with Ray.
Hello, hello.
And Victor.
Good evening.
And preview this time again. I'm going to add chapters again this episode because we're going to start with some Skyrim, some Legacy, Dragonborn, some other stuff, and then have some Starfield, some Assassin's Creed, some Tomb Raider, a little bit of everything. So I'll throw in some chapters for those, make it a little easier for people to bop around if they want. It's not that hard to do, so I have to edit the show anyway. So it's not that difficult.
Indeed.
But, let's see. I've continued with my Legacy of the Dragonborn character. This is definitely the furthest I've ever gotten into it. I'm not anywhere near where you were with your one character, right? What was it? I only have like 670 items in the museum.
Yeah, it was just a little over 900 when it finally started crapping out on me.
Crapping out. I don't remember. Was it crapping out? It's like crashing and overloaded or something? Or
yeah, it would take over an hour for it to process all of the the stuff in my inventory when I just went and did the automated dump.
Yeah.
Because evidently it goes through every single item in the list
of
items. And so it was just, you just couldn't play it.
That's really not at the fault of Legacy Dragonborn. That's really the game engine, right? I mean,
compute power and everything else.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of run into that issue because now when I do the auto sort, I usually do it like in the morning before I go to work. I'll run back to the museum and hit auto sort, and then I'll go make breakfast. And then I'll come back out, and usually in about I'll do other stuff around. You can do other things around the museum. It doesn't really affect anything. I just don't think you can craft, right? Because you can't do
and you can't. You can't interact with. I tried to hang a painting.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
It wouldn't let me hang a painting.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can't like remove anything from your inventory. But I kind of go do other stuff and then.
Okay, so that brings up a question: Is it? Do you have to use the auto sort?
No. You can look up and see where the stuff goes pretty easily.
Yeah. Or there's a chest in the same room as the auto sorter where you can put specific things in there. If you happen to know, the thing is that you're filling out the armory.
Right.
So unless you know if you went looking for specific pieces, found those, you could put those in.
Yeah. So you'd have to travel around the whole museum, finding all the displays and with all the stuff in your inventory
and a list.
Just so you know what's, what actually it needs. Yeah. The other thing you could do is you can just dump everything in that chest and then just come back, in a day or two and see if there's anything left in there.
I haven't done that.
As far as I've played into it, which is not that far in the past, I never trust stuff like that. So it's like I don't trust the system. Obviously I should because it seems to work, but I don't trust the system for making replicas, for instance, right? So I haven't really done that. I mean I want Dawnbreaker, god damn it, and I don't want it, so stuff like that. So I've never actually plumbed the depths of all that. But your playthrough has inspired me. So I spent the last couple of weeks sampling as many of the Wabbajack mod lists that I could find that had Legacy of the Dragonborn attached, and I sort of settled on one of them I went through just about all of them. Lost Legacy was one of them. Librum is another. And there's a couple more. And I've the one I'm sort of playing with right now is called Tempus Maledictum, which is roughly translates in Latin to a time curse. I don't know exactly why, but that's basically what it means. So for what it's worth. And it's huge. It's a huge mod list. It's like 2,000 or so plugins, or 1,600 plugins. Let's see. It's 1,689 plugins. So, and of course, for all, yes, anybody listening, Wabajack is PC based. There's you can't do this on Xbox, or anything else but PC. And you really, 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 as I think we've said in the past, you have to have a good, fast SSD to make it work well.
Yeah.
And I've tried them on a mechanical drive, even a relatively fast Western Digital Blue, or was it black? I don't remember. It was one of the higher end mechanical. You need an SSD to. And you also need a fast internet connection, because the damn thing is about 270 gigabytes of space.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. so sorry, Ray.
But it looks really good.
Yeah, well, actually, okay. So yes, it does, and no, and that's that is the sort of the problem that I have with these, and I haven't sampled any of the ones that you've done, Ray, the collections off of Nexus. Mm-hmm. I haven't done any of that at all, because you're the Vortex guy, I'm the mod organizer guy, and I love that Wabajack uses mod organizer. So every single Wabajack mod list is a discrete mod organizer package. So you go into the directory and you launch a specific version of mod organizer. I don't know how it works with Vortex and the other, but that's how it works with Wabajack. So you are very much protected, so to speak. Your original Skyrim directory is never touched and all that stuff. So anyway, so it's that, yeah. Anyway, the problem is that you're still, no matter what, you're still using somebody else's vision of the game, right?
Right.
And so, for instance, with Tempus Maledictum, it's pretty beefy. So it takes I have a 2070 Super in this machine, and a sort of a mid to high range, CPU from about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's not exactly cutting edge today, but it's a reasonably powerful machine. And I get about 50, 55 FPS with Tempus Maledictum. But it's like, it's like not my real vision. I like a more realistic looking Skyrim, and I've built my own sort of, aesthetic section of a mod list that I like the look of, and it's not overly saturated. It doesn't have these vibrant greens and reds that everybody loves that shit. And it's like, you get tired of it. So Tempest Maledictum has that, but it also has some really, really nice dungeon textures and mountain textures and some really, really good stuff. So and that's actually, if you have a PC and you're willing to spend the time to sort of either the collections or Wabajack to just sort of play with these, load them up, run through, Bleak Falls Barrow or something like that, and run around Lake Ilinalta and see what you like, and then just find out what mods those are, and then use them somewhere else. You don't have to stick with it, but so that's what I like about all of this stuff. But anyway, I digress. The Legacy of the Dragonborn is I've been looking for something that I can really sink my teeth into, stick with the mod list, and sort of progress in that mod and see where I can go with it. And so I think I'm going to stick with Tempest Maledictum now. And, it's
it's nice because it gives you a real reason to do everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing I like the most about it.
Yeah. Without having to worry about role playing, whatever. I mean, you can, but yeah. Actually, you can't, right? If you're going to do everything, you got to be everything. So
Yeah, it definitely gives you like not only a reason to do all the quests, but to do all the crafting and do the other stuff to acquire all the different things. Because I'll go through the armor area and armory and take notes of what's left to make. And then there's that what's the other one to the right of it? Oddities, I think it is.
Right.
Hall of Oddities, which also has the other additional add-on armors like the mails and the plate armors and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that were added from Anniversary Edition. And also depending on whatever mod you have added with it and all that kind of stuff. There's extra space for all that stuff. So,
well, to give you an idea, and this is actually, and so here's another sort of, I guess you could say, not advantage, but something that's good about loading up these curated mod lists. So if you really want to dive deep, Tempest Maledictum, get ready, includes under new lands and quests, Beyond Reach, Beyond Skyrim, Bruma, all the Bruma stuff, Carved Brink, Clockwork, Darkened, Glamouril, Glenmoral, Leaps of Faith, Project AHO. I'm scrolling down. Forgotten City, Grey Cowl of Nocturnal, which is already also in AE, of course.
Yeah.
Lost Wonders of Mazark, The Second Great War, Siren Root, and Undeath, Vigilant, Unslod, and Worm's Tooth.
Yeah.
So and they're all in there and they're all patched. So if you leave the mod list alone, theoretically,
it all works seamlessly,
and it works seamlessly. Yeah. So
that's nice.
Yeah. I'll never get to all that shit, but it's nice to think so.
Yeah.
I'm like most of the way through the Mages College now. I just met up with the Augur of Dunlane.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, my quest list is like 5 feet long right now because I'm like toe deep into everything and not finishing anything.
Not getting anything completed.
Yes. Yeah. So like now I'm like going back and like, all right, I really got to start knocking this stuff off, and just because I went over to Solstheim and started some stuff over there because I wanted to get more things to put in the museum. It's like, well, I should probably just go to Solstheim.
Well, you got to get into the stall room.
Yeah, I had to get over there. So, and I just hit like level 90 in smithing, so I'm starting to be able to do Daedric stuff now. So now I got to go out and find ebony, so I can make all the Daedric stuff because I used all my ebony making the ebony stuff. I killed poor Lydia, died on our journey. She took an arrow to the back because she ran in front of me while I was.
I'm sure you didn't mean it.
Yeah, I did not mean it. But coincidentally, it worked out okay because I was waiting to get a different follower to bring for Boethia to kill. So she had died. So I was like, well, time to go to Riverwood and pick up Sven.
Yeah. He's a good one for that.
Yeah. So Sven and I took a trip to the post, and he did not come back, unfortunately for him. But
poor Sven. His mom. What about his mom?
He just didn't quite make it. So good. But then I grabbed Ilya from Dark Lake Tower, so I'm running around with her because she's great.
Yeah, you liked her a lot.
Yeah.
She is a great follower. Yeah. I always go for Goldier. He's just
I like
sentiment.
Yeah, well, I happened to be over that way to do something else, and I ended up having to go through Darklight Tower to get there, out the back end of it. So I was like, oh, well, I may as well. I guess I'll be doing this quest, and her and I can go off on a journey together. Because you do gather so much stuff. You really need somebody to carry stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're
Yeah,
just.
but Lydia is the one who carries your burdens. Come
It's
on.
true.
I mean,
She was, and I had to loot.
yeah.
I had to leave her there with a lot of good stuff because I was like, I can't carry it.
Isn't there? Is it Sarah Morgan? And not to bring up Starfield too much, but doesn't one of the NPCs say something about carrying burdens?
Oh, really?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
It's worked into their line.
yeah,
I think it is Sarah.
yeah,
And you know how she'll gladly do it.
yeah.
I kind of took inspiration from Leo Getz,
Oh, nice.
and so I've been doing the Stones of Baranziah.
Oh, nice.
So I have 3 left.
Wow. Oh, God. Which ones?
Are you using any mods to find them, or are you?
No, I'm using a list. So
Yeah.
I wrote down the location of each one of them.
Yeah.
So that I could keep track of where I'd been and where I hadn't.
Yeah, that's what I did last time. I think I used the UESP, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so I'm just checking them off as I go. So I have Proud Spire Manor that I still have to get, and then I haven't done anything with the college yet. So I need to get the one out of the mages, the Archmage quarters, and then they also send you to Felgo Keep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get the one out of that, and then I'll be done.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Then you'll have.
So have you ever tried to do? And I think Stephen was trying to sort of do this with Leo. Maybe try to do it in a how do I put this? So that you can complete it and actually benefit from it, because most of the time it takes so long to do, you don't really need all that cash by the time you've finished it. Yeah. Right. So have you ever tried to finish it off early enough to make all the loot worth it?
So this character is level 24 now, I think.
Okay. That's early enough. Yeah.
So I didn't get started right away.
Yeah.
So last week I dusted off the character and what was I doing a month ago?
Yeah,
when I was playing this.
Oh God!
And so I've slowly but surely been getting it back on track.
Yeah.
And then so the last thing I had forgotten. So he is a follower of Xerxes. And the main benefit of worshiping Xerxes is that if you read a skill book while you're praying, you get 2 points for it.
Oh, nice.
And so I read like 6 books. And, when I started back up, and then happened to be going through my active effects and realized, crap, I didn't pray during those books.
Oh, no.
And so I only got a single point for them, but I'm back on track now. And it's kind of tricky because you have to position yourself just right. Because there also because I'm over 100% with that deity, you get this little like glowing ball in front of you that you can activate, and it gives you detect life for everything around you.
Oh, cool.
And so I have to make sure that I'm lined up so that the book is beside me, so that when I pray, I can turn to the book and be out of the sphere of the activating the power. So I'm back on track with that.
Cool.
And then the other thing is that so I posted it in the Discord. So I've been using this quick loot mod forever. It gives you like a Fallout 4 style loot menu. Okay. So you just look at the character and it brings up a list of everything that they've got in their inventory.
A lot of the WebJack lists use quick loot. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and so I've always noticed that there's these little, these little marks next to some of the items.
Like a little plus sign and stuff.
Yeah, a little plus sign, a little check mark, and a little hand, but not the red hand for stealing. And so today I was looking at one. I'm like, what the heck? What is that really for? And I looked, and it's a Legacy of the Dragonborn symbol. And so it shows you in this loot for this character, you've already got this item on display in the museum. You've got this item in your inventory, and you need this item for an additional display.
Oh, wow.
No wonder I have so many plus signs in everything. Because I need everything. Okay, that's very cool. I didn't know.
And
nice.
so I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm new to the game. You gotta give me a break.
Yeah. So only 5,000 hours, right?
Yeah. That is nice though to have that. I mean, that makes it way easier. I mean, I make a list of certain things, but then there's other things like I have no idea, like if I need it or not, And I'm just carrying stuff to carry stuff. But you do make a good amount of money off the museum too when you start having more items in it as well.
Yeah,
like that. The donation box is much more full when you get back.
Yeah.
After extended journeys. So
yeah, between that and Golden Hills, if you get that going, pretty steady amount of cash. Barely need anything else.
Yeah, and especially if you're buying, like I'm buying a lot of ore and stuff because I'm crafting a lot of the items in there. So that it does add up after a while if you're just buying some stuff. So
so something else occurs to me. Have either of you guys ever run into a point in these long playthroughs where you've actually gotten to a point where you have depleted almost the entire game of materials that you need? Like there's no mines left with ore that you need. You have to wait another 30 days or whatever, or it's getting hard to find blue mountain flowers. Yeah. I'm just curious. You ever got into that?
Well, kind of what I start doing is once I hit like a certain, because I generally am doing, if I'm doing like alchemy and building that up, I just start buying ingredients.
Yeah.
So, because I got to sell the stuff off anyway. So
that makes more sense, right?
I tend to, but then the issue I run into is I have to start hopping city to city to do it because they all only
everybody runs out.
Yeah, everybody runs out. So I don't know if it's actually faster to do that or just actually go out and collect stuff.
That's when it's nice to have mods like trade and barter and stuff like that give, which is available on Xbox. So anybody playing Xbox should definitely look into trying to fit that into a list.
Yeah, and there's a ton of good Legacy of Dragonborn mod lists on, I think it's Skyrim Mods Xbox subreddit.
Oh, cool. Okay, so there are now mod lists for.
Well, no, you would have to. It's just a load order. Sorry.
Okay, so you build your own.
Orders. Yeah. Okay. There's good load orders on there where you could follow those and
that's cool.
A pretty good one.
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking to do that, I kept mine pretty basic because I didn't really have to go on there. But if you wanted to add like like you're saying, like Worm's Tooth, Clockwork, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Worm's Tooth. I don't know. I mean, that's been unsupported
for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But I played it not too long ago.
Yeah,
and it did great.
Did it?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like Helgen Reborn. That's such a solidly written mod that it. Yeah, as long as your game is stable, the mod's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just finished another playthrough with Helgen Reborn on another character. I just love that mod. It's just so much fun to play through and just feels like old friends,
Yeah. Then I figured the other thing I hadn't really done in a lot is anything with shouts.
Oh.
And so I watched a video from Soft Gaming, who does a lot of mod, feature mod things. And so I activated Thunderchild, but then there were a couple of other mods that play well with Thunderchild that I thought I'd try out. One of them is Fusro Door, and so you could open doors, locked doors with a shout.
I like that.
That's fun.
And then also there's one that lets you disintegrate skeletons with a shout.
Oh.
So if you Fusro a skeleton, it'll break them, into bits.
Nice.
So, and then I did notice, but I didn't load it, that Fusro Door also has a one that'll open chests.
Excellent. Yeah. I still, my character that I was trying the other side of the shouts with the Simon Rim stuff, and I'm still playing that, so I haven't really plumbed but I like his approach. I like both the Eni Cheyon's approach with Thunderchild and this other one, but which is a much more perk driven shout overhaul. So it's got a whole shout perk tree. I've worked my way up through some of it, but yeah.
I didn't load that one. I also didn't load the animations. There's a couple of animation mods in that list of stuff that Soft Gaming talked about.
Yeah. Do you really?
I don't play in third person, so animations don't really do anything for me.
Yeah, you got to play either in third person, and also even if you do play in third person, I find they just get boring after a while. It's fun for a little bit, and it's a new look, but then it gets tiresome.
Yeah,
and that's like this, even with Tempest Maledictum has this first person camera mod in it, so that, like, for instance, when you go to use the grinding wheel, it stays in first person, and it's really annoying after the first couple of, that's kind of cool. No, it's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
So it's very disorienting. But that is one of the downsides of any mod list, really. You can't adjust it because you're going to screw everything up. So what you get is what you get, and don't screw with it. So I just now I go into third person whenever I have to keep scrolling back and scrolling forward, with these mods. Some things work best in third person and some things work best in first. So, but I forget what Tempest Maledictum has. One of the combat mods. I don't too many to look through right now, but it does some pretty cool stuff with two-handed weapons where you got to time your swings properly, but you have really powerful, what are you, supercharged? What do you call that? You have your
attack.
Power attack. Thank you. Really, good, powerful power attacks. Where you can swing if you time it right with your clicks. You swing up and wait a couple seconds, and then swings right back down, and you can take out some pretty powerful enemies with just a couple of clicks of the mouse at a relatively low level. So, but you have to be willing to also dodge and roll. So anyway, speaking of dodging and rolling and Souls-like games, have either of you guys are either of you using the Game Pass?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you tried the was it Story of P or
I have not.
Game?
I've seen it on there, and wasn't there like a? It's kind of been the thumbnail's been on there for a while, like it coming soon on there for a while, but I didn't realize
it's out. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is freaking gorgeous, but it's a Souls-like, so it's hard and unforgiving. But it's really, really good. I haven't got very far. I can't. I'm just no longer able to do that. But I've got several little games that I've sort of played with, but that's one of them. I recommend anybody who has been sort of on the fence about it, give it a try. It's a really beautiful game, and the story is really quite compelling. It is based on the original Pinocchio story, which is a lot darker than the Disney story.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. It's well worth a visit.
Yeah, that was one I definitely wanted to try out because I've been seeing it for quite a long time, and just maybe I'll just download it from Game Pass and give it a go.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Also dodging and rolling, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yeah. That I have been enjoying. How about you?
Yes, I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Overall, because I play almost all of them.
Yeah.
I like Odyssey and Origins a lot, and I was okay with Valhalla. It was fine. But I did like that this kind of went back and like pared down the scope, and it's almost completely dependent on being stealthy, and removes archery essentially from the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So like you have the throwing daggers and stuff like that, but you don't. It's not like I think Odyssey you could go through with a lot of archery and barely have to kind of sneak around, other than as an archer. So I like a lot of that. It does feel like the parkour is a little clunky. Like that almost took a step back.
Huh.
Like you're grabbing different, like almost like, it's not always smooth when you're climbing, I'll say. Sometimes you grab onto things as you're jumping down and go back up or whatever, but.
Yes. I think that's, yes, I 100% agree about that. I think part of that is the fault of the camera.
Yeah.
I find myself hopping up on things when I don't want to, because the way the camera rotates around and stuff, that can be really annoying. I agree. I do like that. It actually got me inspired to re-download Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, yeah.
And so I started playing through that. But sadly, also Assassin's Creed 3, and I don't remember how Black Flag started, but 2 and 3 start with one of the tutorial sections of those. The intros is one of these races.
Oh, yeah.
And 2, you got to race your friend or brother. I don't remember who, but it's your brother, I think.
Anyway, I remember this, yeah.
And, I can't fucking get through that. And it's just like, rage quit. If I had a controller, I'd throw it across the room. And the same thing is, I think the same kind of races in Assassin's Creed 3 where Ezio is in, or what's his name is in a simulation where you have to jump across a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, really annoying. And if you can't get through it, it just goes on.
Yeah, I thought they did the tutorial pretty well in this. It's always in a separate place and all that, but it wasn't overly long or anything. It gave you all the basics you needed, and
Yeah, and doesn't make you pass ridiculous tests like the early ones. Yeah. No, I like it too. I agree, and I think the fact that it's gone back to the point where the perk trees are far less about upgrading your character's combat, melee skills, stuff like that, than they are about other things. And yes, in fact, you can assassinate a very high level enemy by jumping out on top of them early in the game.
Yes.
If you time it right, yes, you can perform that assassination. You don't have to worry about, only taking down a quarter of his health bar and then getting turned into a little greasy spot on the floor. It actually works. And I like that. I've watched some, review videos that criticize that, and a couple of review videos that actually, recognize that as a plus. So
yeah, I definitely think it's a plus, because what it does is it keeps you from leaning on the melee, and you focus more on the stealth.
Yeah, because you've got a glass jaw, right?
Yeah.
If you can get good at the melee if you time your parries right, because it's got a pretty good parry system, right?
Yep.
I mean, but yeah, if you're never going to get much better at that, even no matter how many perks you take. There's a couple perks for it, but not much. So yeah, you better either get good or stay stealthy, one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it definitely rewards you for staying stealthy as much as possible. Which is, which I prefer in that game anyway. And
I'm how far are you? I think I'm maybe a third of the way, maybe close to halfway through. I've killed one of the.
I think I've killed two.
Bad.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm about a third or half also.
Yeah.
I think I've just taken out my second, whatever mysterious person who's behind everything, I think. The first one I was unsure. It was actually funny because I wasn't sure if I could kill them, what would happen if I did. And then I did, and it went to the cutscene. I was like, okay, because I was kind of in the middle of a crowd when I did. So I came flying down from 3 stories up and was like, well, either everybody's going to kill me after this or or it's all going to go well, and we'll see what happens. So I took the chance. I was like, I'll just take a chance, see what happens.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying it. It's fun, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks
beautiful.
great. Yeah.
I finally took the plunge and shifted things over to 4K for Mirage, and it does look 4K better. And it's very nice. It's a very pretty game.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I play it kind of in chunks. I'll go through. Because you have the pinwheel of quests, I guess you could say, the branches that come off. So I'll try and take care of one of them and move on to another one. And they're not linear, because you're kind of moving in levels. You take out this level to find the higher level of people
and the clues and stuff. Yeah, it is back to sort of the murder mystery kind of aesthetic that was, what was that, Unity or a Syndicate where that was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I never played Unity, so now it's got me, and it had a lot of problems I remember when Unity came out. It was one of those, another sort of No Man's Sky / Cyberpunk 2077 that just came out really poorly made and needed a hell of a lot of updating and bug fixing. And I gather it's much better now. So now I played Syndicate, I think, on Game Pass early on.
Oh yeah, because a lot of them were on there. Yeah, they put a bunch of them on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff that before Ubisoft, fuck them forever, dropped Steam. So I have everything that you can buy on Steam, and of course, because I'm an idiot, I buy stuff from Ubisoft too. Because I want to play games, damn it. And I can complain about them, but I'll still buy it. So, oh well.
And you're saying you're playing Tomb Raider also? Is it?
Yeah, I finished the Tomb Raider reboots, the 3 since 2015 or 16 or whatever. I've done Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and now I'm out of just first couple of hours into Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And they're great. And speaking of parkour, I think Tomb Raider's parkour is a lot more like Uncharted, right?
Okay,
opposed to the Assassin's Creed, which is kind of I don't know, how would you describe it? It's sort of more freeform parkour, right? You sort of you can aim yourself at the bricks that are sticking out of the side of the building and stuff, but Tomb Raider and Uncharted and Dying Light was another one, which has really sort of, I guess the best way to describe it would be a tactical parkour, right?
Yes,
where you have real parkour puzzles.
Yep.
And I love that. You got to really figure out where to go and how to climb up that tower or up that cliff or whatever. And yes, they give you, Horizon Zero Dawn was also, they give you little clues. There's, white paint or whatever on certain ledges, and so you know where to go. And sometimes I kind of wish there was a way to turn that off, but then you'd fall to your death far more often.
A lot more often, yeah.
A lot more often. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that style. The Assassin's Creed sort of paradigm is more just sort of point the controller and click a lot and you'll get there. Anyway, yeah. So the third Shadow, the Shadow of the Tomb Raider is another great addition, and I think there's a number 4 in the works. Not 100% sure, but I think rumors that there's one coming out the next couple of years, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
because I played one of them and I don't remember which it was because it's been a little while, obviously, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, like you said, it very much compares in the play style to like Uncharted. The way you go through it, like almost like a puzzle, which is pretty fun. I will say, this Assassin's Creed is a little different than Odyssey and Origins again, where they like this one has more like when you're going to the viewpoints or whatever, has more of a specific way that you have to go. Those were pretty much you could just climb almost without really even thinking about it. This one did go back a little bit to where you actually do have to look around to grab certain things to be able to get up. There's, I think, multiple ways up, but it's not as those two were very you just could climb, even up like the side of cliffs and stuff. Almost, you were just pretty much scaling them pretty nimbly. And this
the Cliff of Infinity,
yes.
Yeah.
And this one, kind of went back to the previous generations where you actually have to look for ledges and things like that and can't quite get over everything super easy.
Yeah.
Which is probably better. It gives you a little more, a little more strategy to it, a little more thought goes into it than just quickly climbing up a 200-foot tower.
Yeah, another one that had more of that sort of parkour puzzle is the Far Cry games, and they have the same sort of they're Ubi games, right? So there's always a tower to climb to open up the map. So I kind of, now that I'm talking about it, I'm kind of missing playing a Far Cry game. I'm going to go back to Far Cry 5 again. They are so much fun.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love ziplining?
Oh, hell yes. Actually, Mirage has ziplining, although it's with his hands. And I think, every time I do it, it's like, oh my God, that must hurt.
Wow.
They're on fire by the time you get to the bottom.
Yeah. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider, all the Tomb Raider games also have ziplining. Yeah. She uses her ice axe or whatever to skim down the zip lines.
It's much better than your
much better. Yeah.
Right. You've been in space, I assume, quite a bit.
I have. Yep.
in both forms, or just
yeah, both forms. Yeah, we just put out an episode last weekend of No Man's Sky.
Nice.
So life after the expedition. We're still kind of in waiting mode now. There's usually another update before the holidays.
Oh yeah.
So that should be coming up pretty soon. And definitely been spending on a fair amount of time. It slowed down a little bit in Starfield. But I did last week. I streamed a little bit of my gameplay with stealth melee character.
Oh, interesting.
Because stealth is a little tricky in Starfield, and especially if you're going to do melee. So talked a little bit about that. Showed the perks and everything that I took in order to make it work.
So stealth melee is sort of like a sneaky assassin kind of thing, or
yeah, kind of like pretty much everything I do in Fallout and Skyrim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
stealth and a dagger.
Yeah.
So in this case, though, I use a wakizashi, so katana essentially.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
That's been fun. And then I also have a pirate character that I jump into every once in a while just to go raid ships. So she's an expert bank robber.
Oh, there you go.
There's these Galbank freighters that fly around in all the different systems, and so you can if you do things right, you can take them out and steal the ship.
Oh,
and make a pretty good chunk of change.
Huh. Yeah, sell the ship and everything.
Oh, now, yeah.
You have to register the ships to sell them, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So how much it costs you money to register them?
Yep. So I kind of did a little tally. I averaged a bunch of different ships that I had taken, and I think the lowest I got was 22,000.
As total profit.
Profit.
Yeah. Okay.
For all expenses, bounties, registration, all that.
Oh wow.
And the best one I had was 42K.
Okay. Do you feel like it's worth all that trouble?
Oh yeah.
When the ships are like 100 or 200,000 credits, it's worth the trouble.
Most of everything that you're getting is stuff inside the ship.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I didn't calculate in those profit margins were all of the guns and everything that I looted off of the security on the ship. So they're usually all pretty well stocked, and they have an armory and everything else. So
oh wow,
it's a clean operation. I've got a bounty board in my camp. And so when I steal the ship, I fly back to my base and clear my bounty, and then I can take it to a settled system and sell it.
Ah, okay. Nice.
Have you done a lot of base building or just
No.
No. Yeah, I know it's not your thing. I didn't know if you would
So especially like with the pirate character, her base consists of the base unit, the bounty board, and the landing pad, and that's it.
Very clean. Yeah, very simple.
Else. You go in, you clear your boundary. You can, if you want to do anything with the ship, you can do it there, and then off you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But so I did see a video, and so I've taken my my stealth character in a little bit different direction right now. And once I get him up to speed, I'll probably stream this one too. But evidently in Starfield, you can put a silencer on a minigun.
Oh, really?
So I'll be a stealth heavy gunner.
That's stealth heavy.
That's cool. Have you had any? I mean, and this has only happened to me once or twice now, since I've only played the game for, I don't know, 30 or 40 hours, maybe at the most. Have you run into the repetitive, um, you know, locations on various planets where you find an abandoned research facility or abandoned this or abandoned that, and it's the same one that you were just at over the last planet you were on? How much of that do you run into?
I mean, it's not like it definitely is there.
Yeah.
But
I'm not,
it's not, it's usually, it's got different, it has different bad guys,
right.
and they're in different places, but it's, the same facility.
Yeah.
And everything.
I've heard a lot of criticism about that, and I'm just curious.
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about the place you're in, it can be, oh man, here I am again.
Yeah.
But there's enough randomness inside of it that it makes it, easy to forget that you're in the same place you were just in.
Right. And also on the plus side, oh, here I am again. I know my way around, at least the layout of the building. I mean, and I mean, the thought I had when I was listening to some of these videos, of course, it's all the clickbait, YouTube type. Starfield sucks, or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Fine. You just, shut the fuck up. But, I was thinking, okay, if you're a regular player of any Bethesda game, how many times have you actually gone into Corvega?
Yeah.
Probably 50 times, maybe more,
Yep.
So it's no different, right? So, or Bleak Falls Barrow. How many times have you actually gone through?
Exactly.
100, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
And
I'm just curious.
I also get a chuckle because, these are all facilities built by the same companies, in different worlds.
So they
somebody who, for their job, actually had to go into a lot of manufacturing facilities.
Yeah.
They kind of all look the same.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They lay them out. They lay them out, according to USDA guidelines, and good manufacturing processes. And so, they do look similar. So
no, you're preaching to the choir. I installed. Actually, it's funny. I was looking back at my record. This is IRL stuff, but anyway, of the 150 organs that Austin Organs Incorporated built from 1977 to 2000, I installed half of them. And you're right. It's like they all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different building, but it's the same structure. It's the same stuff inside, Yeah. No, you're right. 100%.
Yeah. So, it ends up being a lot of, just kind of clickbaity stuff, trying to stir things up. But they're there, but it's, there's enough variety that it's not like every single building is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see those complaints like on the Starfield subreddit and stuff, like, cause I'm still reading through there. I'm like, well, I don't know. I see people like acting like, I'm like, people are enjoying it. Like, it doesn't have to be for everyone. That doesn't make it bad because it's not for everyone. Like,
well, but yes, it does. Doom.
Like, there's a lot of people playing it. Like, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, and but if I don't say mean things about it, nobody's going to watch my video.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well.
I mean, like, look at No Man's Sky. Like, that got like all the hate in the beginning, but that has really persevered for a long time at this point. And really grown so much. Like, something like when you go super ambitious, like they really did with Starfield, go pretty ambitious. I just think it's going to take time to evolve too. You have to. I think that has to be expected.
Well, it's such a huge game that people will. Anyway, no, I actually on Ray's recommendation, I downloaded and reinstalled Cyberpunk, and started playing it the other day, and it definitely has a more polished feel to it.
Yeah.
I chose the Nomad this time.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's one I got to get back into. I updated it, so it's got the new functionality to it. Right. But I haven't bought the DLC for it yet.
No, neither did I. I want to play through some of the base game before I go into whatever, I forget what it's called. The DLC. Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
But, I do want to see Idris Elba.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to a better and a better gameplay. Although I'm not sure how far I'm going to get into it. Too many games.
And that's one that it eats up a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of moving parts to it.
Yeah, it's a huge game. Yeah, it's a game on the same sort of level and of complexity and commitment as GTA 5 and Witcher 3, of course, but all those huge Watch Dogs, another, especially Watch Dogs 2, which was a better game. Huge, complex, as you say, lots of moving. And speaking of that and the complete opposite of it, Sean gave me HROT for my birthday, and it is a gas. It's a very much like right back to, you guys remember, if we have any really young listeners, they won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But shareware games from like the 90s.
Yeah.
HROT is exactly that. It just looks like a cross. It looks like if Doom and Quake had a horrible, grotesque love child, it would be HROT. It is so weird. But it's a lot of fun. But yes, it's a.
Is that horse wearing a gas mask?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one. Yeah. There you go. But yes, if you download it and play it, you will instantly have a flashback mind fuck of stuff where smoked way too much pot and had too much beer and played those weird games. Yeah.
I got a cat fight going on outside the door. Sorry. I'm like trying to peek around the corner and see what's going on. They're flying in and out of the bathroom. I'm waiting for the shower curtain to hit the floor.
Well, it's that time of night, isn't it? It's
yeah. Oh yeah. They eat in about 20 minutes or half hour, so they got to burn off everything beforehand, and then yeah. Just waiting for the shower curtain to come crashing down. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know how much more time I have with this character for Legacy. But I do have a lot more crap to get still. I think I just want to at least go through all the different quests with the museum and the Explorers Guild while I'm this far. Before I move on to another character. And this is, of course, the huge drawback with playing on the Xbox. Obviously, is I can't switch to different modded games.
Yeah.
Very simply anyway. I could, but it would be like a complete nightmare and waste of energy. So I kind of have to focus on and finish the one before I move on to a different one. That's definitely the drawback, modding on Xbox for sure. Versus, with using Wabbajack or, what do you use? Vortex, right? Yeah.
Vortex,
yeah.
Well, collections, yeah.
Yeah,
collections are collections Vortex based, Ray, or okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are So they're sort of roughly equivalent. I guess.
Vortex can, in a profile, you can either, the one I'm running now, I've got, I have two different collections running together.
Oh, wow.
And I've got probably, 15 or 16 loose mods that are also in there that I've added on top of the collection. So it's collections are just kind of groups of mods.
They're not curated.
They are.
Oh, they are. Okay.
The mods in the collection are curated, but you can take mods out. Like I was running 2 different profiles with the Immersive and Pure collection in it.
Okay.
It comes with Winter Sun, and in the other profile, I took Winter Sun out and put in Gods and Worship.
Oh, okay.
And so,
and it ran okay. No problem.
It runs fine.
Yeah.
You just have to go in and get your own patches for different things and
right.
Okay. and all that.
I guess that's the difference with Wabbajack. You don't want to screw around with Wabbajack stuff unless you really know what you're doing. And if you do, you shouldn't. So yeah, different paradigm.
You just leave it as is, and
pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'll add my race menu presets because that doesn't really add anything. And you can always almost always add and remove just mods that are just textures and meshes. As long as there's no ESP, you're fine. But yeah, with Wabbajack, you wouldn't want too much more than that.
Yeah, if you take any mods out of a collection, you will get a notice every time you start up.
Yeah,
that your collection isn't complete. Do you want to fix it? But you just say no and move on.
And move on.
Because it works just fine. So.
Yeah, it's got me wanting to just sort of ignore all the other games and go back to just playing some Skyrim. I'm getting too scattered with too many games.
Yeah, it is cathartic.
Yeah. And I was just, as we were talking here, I just updated Valheim, which has yet another new update.
Oh, does it?
Hildir's Request.
Oh.
Yeah. They're starting to add little quests into Valheim. So
Gotcha.
So characters.
Oh, maybe I'll have to hop
tried
back
any
in.
of them. Yeah. It's been a while.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine trying to remember where I was at.
No, I've got, I have all these characters and I still have a server that I've been paying for. And well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, but one of the beautiful things about Valheim is the ability to carry your characters across saves and across worlds.
Yeah.
It is just so superb.
Yeah.
And so it pays just to save all your old characters.
Yeah.
So I intend to, I have my old Balgroof, who was my original, high level, all the padded armor and everything character from the first iteration of Valheim. Every time a new, thing comes out, I bring Balgroof in there with whatever he can carry, and play around. So.
All right. Well, I guess in next time we'll have some more Legacy and whatever other stuff, as always. So
yeah. And there's more new games coming out.
It is fall, so it is that time. Yeah.
There's good stuff coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody know exactly what? Not to carry this on too far, but does anybody have a finger on the pulse of the next great game coming out? I don't.
I do not.
Yeah, I'm still too deep into Starfield to think about
it.
That's very fair. It's very fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe next time we'll have figured that out.
Yeah. I'll do a Google search.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we should say what Pete Hines retired from Bethesda.
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh no.
Yes. Yep. After what, 20 something years was it? Yeah.
That's a blow.
Yeah, it's not terribly surprising. So kind of hearkening back to my, my before retired life. Yeah, it's a fairly common thing whenever a big company buys another big company. A couple of years and everything kind of, is, they got Starfield out. And so now, people are taking advantage of the large amount of money
the golden parachute
that they made for selling the company.
Yeah, there is that.
Are able to go, and enjoy. It's a lot of hard work to get to that point.
Yeah.
Once they're there, get out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the last person in the world that would harsh on retirement.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
Oh yeah,
and you're right. He deserves every minute of that he can. Yes, but I'm sorry to see him go.
Yeah, for sure.
And it means he won't be there for 6, and that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
but I suspect he'll still be involved in the community quite a bit. He's, there's really a lot of different stuff that he was in the middle of. Helping a lot of the YouTubers and people, the big charity event that the Chad podcast puts on, and stuff like that. So I would imagine he'll still be involved with that. I also noticed that I can't remember the name of the company, but a lot of the developers from Bethesda have gone to work at a different developer, a small game company.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So,
well,
Uncle Pete.
Yeah. Enjoy your, whatever, semi-retirement, retirement, whatever it
I'm sure he'll be
is.
out there. He's a player, so he'll be out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's still a young guy. So,
yeah, he's not that old. But enjoy it. I mean, if you can retire, go for it. I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on it.
Nope.
I definitely have a countdown going on.
Well, I can't recommend it enough.
Oh, gosh. Well, until next time, everyone, thanks for listening. If you have any feedback for any of the games we talked about, please feel free to send it in. SkyrimAddictPodcast@gmail.com. We'll discuss it. So, Skyrim, whatever you're playing, it's fine. And we'll talk to you next time.
Night all.